Morning, my name's Penny and welcome to my YouTube channel. Right, this morning I think we are going to dust off the extension tubes and see what we can do in the garden. This doesn't look so beautiful from this angle. I'm at the back of my garden. This is a shed we have at the back of my garden. And surprise, surprise, I've got out the extension tubes. Now here we've got a fern just coming out for spring. And you know how they curl round like that? I've just got my camera focused on a spiral of where it's growing out. So I believe it's Tom Heaton that's bought himself some cheap extension tubes. I've had these for a little while, but he had a good idea, so I dusted mine off. These are the cheap ones. I think they cost me about 30 odd quid, something like that, from Amazon. And they come in 3 pieces, and you don't have to have the middle piece if you don't want to. That would make it really close. You don't get any electrical output through the lens, so you have to manually focus it because there's no connection between the brain of the camera and your lens. So if you buy these cheap ones, it's all manual, so be warned. But they are cheap, so if you're not doing macro photography all the time, then it's the perfect thing to get. I've just taken a picture. It looks okay. Oh hello, I've just taken the picture. It looks okay. So let's just do it again. Let's make it sure it is sharp. So I'm again using my live view. It was windy a minute ago, which of course with macro wind is a very difficult thing. That's why indoors it would be easier, because you wouldn't have the wind to move the plant around, because obviously a small movement, the smallest movement, is massive. Excuse me, with these macro lenses or with using your extension tubes. And let's just check that that is sharp. So I'm checking the picture on the back of the camera, and if I remember how to use my camera would be good. And that is pretty good. Right, so just going to double check myself. Why not? Oh, it's windy again at the moment. Hang on. If you can see how much that is moving around, that is just like the difference between actually having your subject in the picture and not. It is really a massive movement. Oh, there we go. There's no point focusing when that happens. Because it just won't, you're not able to focus on a point, so you have to wait. Or people, I mean, experts would be sheltering this. They would have like little tents and things to set up to shelter the spot. But I'm not an expert, so we don't have that. And I'm pretty sure if you're anything like me and you saw someone doing that, it would almost put you off from having a go. So, and we don't want to do that now, do we? You've got to have a go. I don't even know if my face is in the picture. I do apologise if the filming is terrible. Oh, we're moving around again. Here we go. I'm going to have to come back because my eyes are getting old and I can't see properly. There we are. And we've taken that again. Let's just check the old picture. Let's check this. It does look nice. At such shallow depth of field, sometimes it's hard to choose what you're going to focus on. So it is, yeah, and every time I touch this camera the wind seems to pick up. It's sometimes the way. There we go. Let's do that again because I know that is sharp. Right, and now, so it'd be nice to have some interest. So I've got the trusty syringe out again. Let's see if there's any where we can put some water. What would be really good would be a spray, but I don't have a spray, so that is not happening right at the moment, and I feel it's not an essential. So where are we going to put a few drops of water on here? Look, let's just see what happens. See if we can get a happy accident. Oh yeah. Oh, there we go. That'd be quite nice. Let's put the lid back on the water so we've got some left. And let's take the camera even closer. I think I can get closer without putting another tube on. This is the difficult bit though. Every movement is massive. Let's get off. See. Oh yeah. So let's line that up. Let's see now. I wonder if we could get a drop of water on that leaf there. So let's try that. I might be just making it just really messy. Right, let's see now. dark. Let's lighten it up a bit. I seem to be having trouble with it reading apertures. I assume that's because it's to do with the lens. So having to go for just shutter speed. Oh, we're very windy at the moment, hang on. That's nice. What I'd really like, so I'm not focusing in on the centre very well, so let's try and lighten that up a bit. It's the centre I want. There we go. Let's reframe that just a touch there. Put it right in the middle of the picture. And make sure that that's the bit that's in focus. So what I'm doing is I'm moving the square around when I make the picture larger on the live view for focusing, so I can get a really good view of if I've got it sharp or not. Actually, that is much better. And let's play with that ISO, because actually I think that's going to be the better option of lightening this up a little bit. So I was on 100 ISO, now I'm on 400 ISO, and that has worked nicely. So I don't seem to be able to be doing the aperture. One out there knows why. I'm thinking it's because it's inside the lens and there's no connection brain-wise between the two because of the cheap tubes. So anyway, so it works with moving the aperture, the ISO, sorry. And let's. Oh yes, I'm much happier with that. That is brilliant. Oh, except there's a great big wind. I do apologise. I don't think I'm even in the shot, am I? Here we are, guys. Just wait for that wind. There we go. That looks quite nice. Let's put that on landscape. Oh, it's moved everything though. Let's see now. Oh, that's better. That's even nicer. Let's do that. Now that is a cracking shot. Here we go. So that is a happy accident. Let's get this. There is a leaf just here that's been frustrating, so let's move that. Don't need to break anything off. And let's get sharper on that. Oh yes. Oh, I'm much happier with that. That is a brilliant shot. Oh, I'm very happy with that actually. Let's, as we've got time, I'm going to muck about a little bit and get it perfect. Come back a bit. There we go. Oh, I'm sorry guys. I had to move for my social distancing. The neighbours came past, so sorry about that, but we're back on the game. Here we go. Let's turn the camera back on. I think this is going to be, we're going to get it right now. So let's check on how good the focus is. Let's get it sharp. That is incredibly sharp. Super brilliant. Press the button. Oh, happy with that. You know, I am happy with that. The problem is with this is you can't stop but faff. You can't help but faff with macro. It's a very faffy thing. And so let's go in for a bit more. Let's check that we've got this. Nice and sharp. Now on my back of my camera this is saying that it is 3 stops overexposed. Let's get me a I will check my histogram. My histogram says it's nicely in the middle, and to my eye it looks perfectly exposed. So if you're not 100% sure, always good to check the histogram on the back of the camera. I'm not someone that looks at my histogram a lot, but it helps you back up your own mind if you need to. And I tell you what, I might even underexpose one just to make sure. So I've gone down from 400 ISO to 200 ISO. That looks quite nice like that. Digital, you should get the right exposure, but with digital it actually reads more information in shadows than it does in highlights. So if you're going to go one way or the other, underexpose a little bit, but preferably expose it right from the get-go. But you know, if you're getting it wrong, if you're going to get it wrong, go under. Right, let's shoot this one. Let's just check my focus again. Let's take that. Let's have a look. It's nicely sharp there. What we could do is just take one. Make sure the centre of the spiral is good. Oh, it's windy again. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. Well, there we go. I think we've got a shot that I'm happy with, so we'll put that in next week's video. I don't know what else we're going to do, if anything else, but I'll show you the picture now. Thank you, bye. Right, I wanted to show you how ridiculously close this lens is to this flower to take the picture that I'm just taking. This is not an ideal lens. A prime lens would be good, maybe an 80mm. This is a 24-105 lens. Look at what it looks like on the camera. It is working, but yeah, I'm a photographer, and I have to admit, and this is a big admit, I don't have a prime lens. I only have my 100-400 and this 24-105. So this is what we're using with the extension tubes, so that's it. But I just wanted to show you, but you can, that was with all 3 tubes. So remember, you can take out one section in the middle for these cheap tubes. And now I don't know if I'm doing something wrong, but I don't think I am. But I can't affect the aperture of this at all. So I have got it on completely manual. But if you go on top of my, if I go on top of my camera here, can you see that? Oh, it's not great, is it? Maybe we could do it on the back. That probably would be better. So if I press info, here we go. So on the bottom here, it is 0, 0. Can you see that? No, not very well. So it's not reading the aperture. So I've had to put my my ISO on automatic. And then I've set my shutter speed, and then that seems to work. This is the picture I'm taking, and I have done a focus on, there's a little bit of dew there, and it rained last night, and I have also focused on the centre. In my mind, I might focus stack that. I don't know if I've ever seen anyone focus stack a macro, so I'm not even sure it's possible. But yes, so we'll see. Also, I want to go up nice and close. So this is how I manually focus. So we press the little magnifying glass, and you can see the square coming out, and that's where it's going. But if I just show this, that is not me wobbling. That is the slightest breeze happening. So this, when you do macro, this is, and you're doing it outside, there we go, it's hardly a breeze going, but you can see how much that is moving around to focus. So recommend maybe taking more than one shot, because yeah, that's gonna be difficult to focus. I hope I actually do have a shot, so we could just check. This is one of the pictures, and if I go along, you can see I've taken a few. Now this is the one where I think I've focused up on a bit of dew, so let's have a look. And that looks, if I move it that way a little bit, that looks pretty sharp to me, so that's good. So these extension tubes, they are great, and they are about 30 quid roughly. And for that, I mean, you really can't complain, but they are quite difficult to use. I think they're really difficult to use. I think they're quite difficult to use. I've said that 3 times now, so you know what I'm talking about. But for 30 quid, if you want to have a go at macro, then I think that they're probably brilliant. And then if you're really enjoying it, then you know that you're going to want to invest in something more. I personally am not skilled enough to be able to capture. I'd love to be able to capture some insects, some spiders, but there is no way I would be quick enough to do it with these extension tubes. It's definitely flowers and other interesting shapes around the garden. So yeah, thoroughly enjoyed it, and actually I think we'll do this more in the future, and I don't know, I might even when I can invest in maybe a macro lens. Yeah, maybe like I don't know, an 80mm or a prime lens that's macro, I think would be amazing. So anyway, we'll see. But yeah, had a really nice time doing this. I think this is going to be the last shot. There's only so many times you'll want to watch me faffing around with the camera. I'll show you the pictures. I also took another macro picture earlier on in the week, so I will put that on as well. And yes, every week won't be macro. We'll be doing something different in the garden next week. So I hope you guys are all getting on all right, and staying well, getting some photography done, feeling creative. if you like these videos, please subscribe, please share, please like, and I will see you next week. Bye bye for now.